Hey, what's up guys? This is Tony, and today I want to make a video pertaining to the iOS 11 jailbreak scene. So in today's video, I hope to answer a couple questions you guys may still have regarding iOS 11.3 Beta 1, should you update or not, and what iOS 11 firmwares can be jailbroken. Now, since it's roughly been a week since the software has been released, I'm sure you guys have discovered all the new features found within 11.3, so I won't waste too much time covering this information. But just as a refresher, iOS 11.3 adds 3 major features that I wanted to briefly mention in case you missed them. I will be bringing up each one of these features later in this video, that's why I wanted to get this out of the way. The 3 main features are 1. Messages in the cloud has finally made its reappearance in iOS 11.3. Now, I am super stoked for this feature as it will free up some space on my phone, and now deleting messages on one device will delete them across all your devices. Plus, when you set up a new device and sign into iCloud, just like the iCloud photo library, now all your messages will be downloaded to the restored device. Secondly, AirPlay receives a major update. It now allows you to control and stream to multiple devices at once. Lastly, there are 4 new Animojis on the iPhone 10. Now, these obviously are not all the new features, but like I said, just the main ones I wanted to give you guys a refresher on, as I will be bringing them up again at some point in this video. Now, according to Apple, 11.3 is supposed to launch sometime this spring, so it's looking like we're going to see an extended beta period for this software. In a later beta of 11.3, we're likely to see a more detailed battery section in the settings app, but for now, that feature is absent. Anyway, 11.3 Beta 1 is now available for developers and public beta testers, so if you're interested in installing this, either download the developer beta configuration profile or head over to Apple's website and sign up for the public beta testing program. And just as a side note, for future betas, the developer configuration profile will be exactly the same, so save the link in the description of this video or refer to this video to download the configuration profile for future betas. Anyway, that is my recap on 11.3. The main reason for doing this video, however, is to give you guys a quick update on the status of jailbreaking, and to answer a question, should you guys update to the software if you intend to jailbreak, and the answer is absolutely not. If you are on a newer firmware than 11.1.2, I would downgrade to the lowest possible firmware of iOS 11 being signed, which as of recording this video is 11.2.5. The only iOS 11 firmwares that can be jailbroken at this current point in time are iOS 11 all the way up to iOS 11.1.2, as the main kernel exploit that is used in said jailbreak utilities is patched in 11.2 and above. This is of course achievable with Ian Beer's kernel level exploit and with Coolstar's Electra developer jailbreak that uses an alternative to Substrate to install tweaks and themes, or Jonathan Levin's Library iOS jailbreak that is intended to include Cydia once it is updated. Now, as a quick side note, I just wanted to state that the Electra jailbreak has received another beta update. It is now on beta 10 as of recording this video. So if you guys have yet to update your Electra jailbreak and you are jailbroken on iOS 11 to 11.1.2, I would highly suggest to update to the newest beta for this jailbreak. But just as a fair warning, this new beta will uninstall all your previously installed tweaks and themes, so if you want to retain those, you will have to manually back them up via SSH on your computer. Anyway, in other news, like I've talked about in my previous jailbreak updates, Sorek himself has stated he is working with an undisclosed developer on updating Cydia, so it is unclear at the time if said developer would release his own jailbreak utility that incorporates Cydia with it or not. Now, since then, Coolstar has tweeted out this. He stated that the patches used in his current Electra jailbreak will work on newer versions of iOS 11. The only thing we are missing is a kernel-level exploit for these newer firmwares. Along the same lines, a new exploit may be coming to iOS 11.2, which will work all the way up to 11.2.2, as it is noted that it is patched in 11.2.5. And the exploit I am talking about is discussed on this article from Zimperium. They stated, we found 2 crucial vulnerabilities in the Bluetooth daemon on iOS, WebOS, and tvOS as part of the core Bluetooth. They further note that more details regarding the research process and the results will be published in the near future in a more detailed technical write-up along with the full exploit source code. So that is great news that a new exploit might be coming very soon to iOS 11.2 to iOS 11.2.2. Now I just want to clear up some confusion about a kernel exploit that has been brought up lately. In the release notes of 11.2.5 on Apple's official page, a few people noticed that a kernel-level exploit that allows arbitrary code to be executed was discovered by a member of Google. Now, after seeing this vulnerability, it was quickly posted to our jailbreak, and a fair amount of people reached out and tweeted to the person who found this vulnerability directly. And surprisingly enough, he did respond, saying he would release a write-up about it eventually. So that sounds fantastic and everything, but that's about all the news that the other channels and articles had to say about it. But just a few days later, after getting countless tweets from users, he wrote this, clarifying it cannot be used to create a jailbreak or break into Apple devices. Still, the description that Apple gave on their website suggests it could. The developer who actually made the discovery made it clear it would not be very helpful. Anyway, I figured I would just clear the air on that rumor that has been going around. So wrapping things up now, at this point in time, it's hard to say if iOS 11.3 will ever receive a jailbreak. No one knows if this new vulnerability will lead to anything or not, but regardless, if a new kernel exploit is released for iOS 11.2 to 11.3, it's looking more and more likely that the jailbreak community will take it upon themselves to incorporate new exploits into a new jailbreak utility for said firmwares. For the time being, I would highly suggest not to update to this firmware if you intend to jailbreak. Unfortunately, the biggest caveat here is if you stay on a lower firmware, you will be missing out on new features that this update brings. Some developers have managed to add iOS 11.3's features to older firmwares. For example, one developer was able to extract the iPhone X's new emojis and add them back to iterations of iOS 11 to 11.1.2. But with more complex features like messages in the cloud and AirPlay 2, it is not as simple as dragging an Animoji file from one OS to the other. These features may never be able to be ported back to an old iOS iteration, and thus we are now back into the same place we were last year, remaining on an old OS for a jailbreak, or updating to the new firmware and being content with living with stock iOS. Anyway, if you can live without these new features and intend to jailbreak, I would highly suggest not to update to any beta of iOS 11.3. Unfortunately, when I was in the middle of recording this video yesterday, Apple stopped signing iOS 11.2, 11.2.1, and 11.2.2. Now this came roughly less than 12 hours after the new 11.2 to 11.2.2 kernel level exploit was discovered, so that was an impressive turnaround by Apple. Still, if you intend to jailbreak, I would highly suggest to downgrade to the lowest possible firmware that is being signed, which is now 11.2.5. If you, however, are on iOS 11.2 to 11.2.2, I would stay exactly where you are at, as a new kernel level exploit might be coming soon. If you are on iOS 11 to 11.1.2, you are golden. Stay exactly where you are and be patient for Soric to update Cydia and Mobile Substrate to run on it. But for the time being, it's safe to try out the Electra jailbreak, as you can easily uninstall the jailbreak and remove all the tweaks and themes if, say, Cydia does get updated and a new utility is released. Now, like I said earlier in this video, a new beta, being Beta 10, of the Electra jailbreak has been released. Now, with Beta 10 and Beta 9, if you are coming from an earlier beta, any of them, it will uninstall all of your tweaks, so make sure to back up your SB inject folder before installing the new beta if you are coming from a beta earlier than Beta 9 and want to keep all your tweaks and themes. Lastly, as a major update to the Electra jailbreak scene and something pertaining to Cydia, Coolstar tweeted out this late yesterday evening. He says, expect a modified version of Cydia to come to the Electra jailbreak very soon. Beta 10's new command line tools include all but 3 of Cydia's dependencies. So it's looking like Coolstar is working on his own to bring Cydia to his Electra jailbreak. Now, I'm not sure what this means or what the extent is going to be, if it's a fully fledged Cydia jailbreak or not, but we will just have to wait and see what exactly he releases. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I will have a follow-up video to this one coming very soon, which incorporates the iOS 10 jailbreak scene as well. We will go over all the jailbreaks that are currently out for iOS 10 and iOS 11 and give a quick summary of what they are and how they work. Anyway, stay tuned for this video. I will be releasing it early next week. But anyway, in the meantime, don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up. Let me know down in the comment section if I missed anything and what you guys think of the iOS 11.2 exploit. I can't believe Apple turned around so quickly and discontinued signing iOS 11.2 to iOS 11.2.2 in less than 12 hours of this new exploit being discovered. So guys, that is a good sign that this actually might lead to something. Anyway, it looks like a full write-up and report from Zimperium is going to be coming very soon. And when it does, I will be sure to make a full video disclosing that information. So if you guys still are trying to downgrade to iOS 11.2 in anticipation to jailbreak with this new exploit, I would double check ipsw.me, as certain versions of iOS 11.2 through iOS 11.2.2 are still being signed for certain devices. It really just depends on which one you have, and this has been happening for the last 24 hours. So I would double check on that website to see if one of those versions is being signed, and I would downgrade immediately if you have the option to. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching today's quick video, and don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on future iOS releases as well as jailbreaking related updates. But until next time, this is Tony, signing out.